Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, the ultra affordable Firefly guitar goes Flametop. But is it worth the upgrade? Well, let's find out. Yes, welcome back to the channel, you guys. Hope you're all doing very well today. As I mentioned, Flametop Firefly. Here we go. Let's take a close look at that one. Beautiful top on it, I must say. Kind of natural maple in the middle, and then those cherry wings on the side. Now this is most certainly a veneer because the guitar costs, well, $200. And if you don't know anything about Firefly, well, they are prodigious cloners of famous designs. Let's just call it what it is. They take famous Gibson designs and kind of make their more affordable version of that guitar. And they're mostly doing kind of like Gibson style guitars these days. Les Pauls, 335s, SGs. I think they just released the V and I think maybe the Explorer. Anyway, yeah, so mostly kind of humbucker equipped classic designs for anywhere between 150 bucks up to 200 bucks for like the deluxe version here. So that comes in handy if you've spent some good money on like a Strat or a Tele and you're like, well, I've always liked a Les Paul or a 335, but let's not kid ourselves, Gibsons are way up here. So, you know, for a couple $100, you can get a nice playing classic design. So that's what Firefly is all about. So let's dive in and check out this model. So let's dive straight in and talk about what you guys could expect should you buy a Firefly, and in this case, the Flametop 338. Now, I've owned a few Fireflies over the years. I've borrowed 2 or 3 from viewers and friends over the years to feature on the channel. This one was sent in by the guys from Firefly, so shout out to those guys. Now, all of these issues that I'm going to talk about on this guitar were pretty much present across every Firefly I've ever played. So just know that, you know, the things I bring up on this guitar in terms of like cosmetic issues, you're not going to end up with a clean and pristine Firefly. All of them have some cosmetic issues, at least every single one that I've ever tried. So what can you expect when you buy a Firefly? Well, you're probably going to get a dark spot on the binding here or there, just like this. You might even have like a little wobble in the binding like this right here. Other cosmetic issues, the F-holes on this guitar are actually really well done, but I cleaned this one out. So here's the before picture of that. Super easy to clean that out, but your guitar might look like that. So just be prepared for those type of issues. Some kind of wonkiness in the binding in certain areas, maybe a slight discoloration in the finish, although this one looks very good, but I've seen it on a lot of Fireflies. They all come with bone nuts, which is fantastic, and this one here is actually really clean, but some of the issues I've seen on them, glue kind of pouring out from around that edge, or yeah, some discoloration on the nut or whatever, very common on Firefly guitars. Now at this point you might be saying, Daryl, well, that's just small cosmetic stuff. No big deal. And I would agree with you on that. Most of the stuff, except for maybe like wiggles in the binding, can all be cleaned up if you just have the time and patience to do it. And, you know, for the price, you're going to end up with something really nice because the good vastly outweighs the bad. But I want it to be upfront because every single Firefly I've ever played definitely has those cosmetic issues. Now, when it comes to the fretwork, well, you can expect some pretty gritty fretwork. Like every other Firefly I've ever played, ever. They all have really gritty front faces. Doesn't matter where you play. So you can pull the strings off and polish those up if you want to or have the tools and the know-how. It's a very easy job. Or you can just play it in. That's usually what I do with these kind of guitars. You know, just play them in and all of that grittiness will instantly disappear. A few bends on, you know, the same spot and it'll just smooth right out. So it just depends what you want to do. And the fret ends are not polished or buffed at all. So thankfully there's no sticking out, there's no sharpness anywhere on this guitar. But if you zoom in and take a look, you can see, yeah, it's a pretty quick job on the ends there. Other than that though, I've never had a Firefly that doesn't play well, that has high frets, that has buzz, that chokes out everywhere you go. very clear, you know, all of those notes, especially once you plug in, crystal clear, every single one I've ever played. So even though the frets are gritty, you need to know that, and the fret ends are not really that great. But for 200 bucks, as I mentioned, we're talking about kind of like the things you can expect when you buy a Firefly, right? The other thing you can expect is a very nice guitar. For $150 to $200, there's a reason why they have the reputation. They've been making guitars long enough that people know usually what to expect. So those are the things on this guitar, and like I said, pretty much across the Firefly line. The good, well, you got a great looking guitar. Whether you want the racing stripe, you can get the plain top if you want, save a few bucks as well. But the 338 is one of the most popular and one of the first Firefly guitars to come out there. And this racing stripe Flametop version is no exception. Really nice. No tilting back on, you know, the stop tailpiece, the bridge. One thing that's a little weird about the bridge is you've kind of got like nuts on this side instead of just like a straight, you know, bar and then your adjustments on the back. You kind of have nuts there, which looks a little bit more utilitarian, I would say. But yeah, in terms of like the fit and finish of the important parts, like the neck joint, yeah, the tailpiece and stuff like that, just straight as an arrow. Love to see it. Yeah. Tilt back is via a scarf joint. You can probably see it right there, hopefully in the light. And just some very, very basic tuning machines. So overall, like, this guitar plays great, looks great. I think it's time we plugged it in. It does have small dime-sized pots, I should mention as well while we're talking about that. Decent switch. Yeah, so there you guys go. Beautiful cherry finish on this one. Let's plug it in because we want to know, of course, what it sounds like. Yeah, you guys, there is nothing wrong with that. Nice, big, full, but clear neck pickup. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Let's go to the middle position here. Yeah, a little bit more snap in that middle position for sure. Back to the neck. Let's go to that bridge there. Yeah, some, you know, pretty big sizzle on there, a little jangly, you know, if you wanted to do some more. You know, it's not so overpowering, you know, powerful humbuckers tend to get really nasally and kind of like really closed in, you know, when you're talking about, you know, playing clean tones through your bridge. Here, it's much more open, much more jangly, which probably means it won't be maybe as good with some higher gain, but just in that clean, yeah, aspect, all three positions sound really great. So let's add a little bit of gain and we'll be back. yeah, at that gain stage, still sounds great. Lots of clarity, especially in that bridge pickup there. All right, let's play something maybe a little bit more up high. We'll start in the neck pickup. Let's stay in A there. Yeah, I mean, even gets a little throaty there when you kind of do some double stops. Let's dial the tone right out and just see, again, what kind of tone we can get here with that dialed out. So there you guys go. That's just kind of like a tour through some of the tones. Clean and pristine, absolutely, you know, I think sounds fantastic. And then gain up to and around some of that like kind of heavier classic rock type gain sounds really good. So there you guys go. That's sort of some of the tones and yeah, a brief look at the Firefly Flametop 338. So here are my final thoughts on the Flametop Firefly 338. Now it should be mentioned this guitar came with a clear guard installed. Fits just like so-ish, something like that. Protects the front face of your guitar from scratches while enabling you to enjoy the flaminess of the top. I elected to pull it off just because I think it gives a cleaner look, and unless a guitar is like a vintage version of, yeah, a 335 or a Les Paul, I'll leave them on. But for the more modern ones, I take it off. I think it just looks cleaner, but bear in mind you will see the mounting hole right next to the, right above the neck pickup there. So bear that in mind. Now in terms of this guitar, overall construction, very nice. You know, the issues with Firefly I laid out right at the beginning. There's going to be some cosmetic issues. There's going to be some filler around, you know, maybe some of the inlays, that kind of stuff. But for 200 bucks, the beauty is it enables you to expand your guitar collection for not a lot of money, you know? So if there's a design that you like, that's where Firefly comes in. If you've bought, like I said, a nice single coil guitar like a Strat or a Tele, but you want some of those sort of classic designs without spending a ton of cash, well, that's where Firefly comes in. So good at that. So yes, this is a great guitar. Bear in mind, you're gonna have to clean some areas up, but the payoff is huge. These are great guitars. And for 200 bucks, it's a bit of a no-brainer. So there you guys go. That is the Firefly Flametop 338. Really cool guitar. Hope you guys enjoyed the demo. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can do so by clicking my face right here. Other than that, all links to this guitar, all the gear I used, amps, all that kind of stuff, down in the video description below. You can check it out there. Other than that, have a great day. Take care.